Hi, folks. Welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. Well, another big financial institution is on the verge of collapse. This is one of the ones that kind of started it all this cycle. I talked about it a few months back. Credit Suisse, it's not looking too good. It's trading at the lowest level it's ever traded. Stock markets and the pre-markets this morning are just plunging. Lots and lots of talk about it going to get worse. Even Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, he said that there will be more bank failures and that inflation will keep going up. I mean, he should know. They're one of the ones that's, making everything go. I mean, when you control $10 trillion on this planet, that's pretty significant. I mean, they control about what would be the equivalent of almost half of the United States' entire GDP. So, yeah, he would know. It just, like we've been saying, it's not over. I mean, according to everyone that in the mainstream news, it was just a little blip last weekend. This bank failures and people getting a little scared. But it's okay, because as we showed yesterday, the news was saying that Joe Biden fixed it. He fixed it. He ran to literally ran to the rescue of the American people. I mean, he ran out there and he spoke for a couple of minutes and he ran back. It was pudding time. I mean, you gotta give him that. But so, and a lot of people, it's already off the radar. I was talking about that yesterday on Rumble. My wife and I were talking about that, how it's, the whole bank scare cycle had already ended, because, how Americans are. They go from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. And by the time they're at the second or third thing down the line, they've forgotten about the one that was going on a week or so ago. And so we're kind of already to that place. And I mean, certainly some people that really pay a lot of attention to this is still focused on the whole banking thing. But I'm talking about average American. Those people that you see at the gas station and the grocery store, and just the average American. Even if they did know, and a lot of them didn't even know about it, they've already forgotten about it and moved on. And here we are a few days later, and it's still going on amazingly. I mean, I thought these things were like trends on TikTok, They last for a couple of days and then they move on. But that's not actually how the economy flows. So, yeah, it's not over. It could get out of hand. It could cause a lot of problems. And if you've got, I know some of you have made some money, I've heard. Just the last few days, you're shorting things and you're buying things and selling things, and you've actually made some money, and I guess that's a good thing. But just be a little cautious, because this particular one, this Credit Suisse, to put it in perspective, the bank that failed the other day, this Silicon Valley Bank. That one had about $210 billion in assets, and this Credit Suisse has a little over $750 billion. So it's almost $800 billion. So it's a lot bigger chunk of the market. And if that one goes under, that would be a big blow, and it would definitely cause things to kind of get a little crazy for a while. So be cautious of that. Also, this excuse me, told you, I think I got a little bit of I don't know if it's a cold or allergies or a mixture of both, but it's been going around. I feel fine. I don't feel anything different. It's just all right in here, a little stuffy, snotty, kind of in the throat, that kind of stuff. So I apologize for that. Anyways, so yesterday I talked about the whole drone thing with Russia and the United States over the Black Sea. That's starting to grow legs. And when I first saw it, I thought, I'm not too sure that this is some kind of thing that could be used as a provocation to war. But, and I'm still not 100% sure that it would be, but it's starting to grow legs. There's actually senators here in the United States that are calling on Joe Biden to retaliate against Russia for knocking down our drone. Of course, we say they knocked it down. Russia claims that they never touched it, that they were just kind of flying around it, and it was maneuvering and kind of lost altitude and blah, blah, blah. Russia's claimed that they have already recovered it, which is interesting because they seem to be able to recover things a lot faster out of the ocean than we are when it comes to balloons that takes days. But anyways, Russia is also saying that they're not going to stand for, that kind of aggression near their territories and stuff like that. So who knows if this is going to become something more than what it is. At some point, there has to be a trigger, okay? Most all wars there are. I mean, very few wars, especially in modern times, have been something like you might have seen in ancient times where you had two armies line up and, they declared that they're going to go fight each other, and then they just, like the, Braveheart or some kind of other epic movie where they're like running down into the valley and then they... That's not how it works. There's usually something that happens, a ship accidentally gets hit, a plane accidentally goes down, someone actually shoots the wrong person, these are the stories we're told. I realize that most of these provocations for wars over the past century or so were all staged, or, but I'm just telling you what the history books would tell you. And so something like this certainly could be a provocation for war. The tensions are definitely growing, and at some point there has to be a relief valve. I can't imagine how these tensions between us and Russia and us and China and stuff will just continue to go on. And I mean, what's the end game? They either just continue and we stay in this constant state of almost war, or do both sides just kind of lose interest in this and then they just kind of, fade away? Not usually. Usually when we're in this level of constant tensions between each other, at some point something has to happen. At least either someone steps in and says, okay, let's negotiate something and end this, or something like this drone can happen and cause things to kind of spiral out of control. Kind of a trigger point. This could be it. I'm not saying that it is. I'm just saying it could be. And I know all of you are saying this is kind of minor. It's a drone. It wasn't even a soldier or an airman or a sailor that was on it. It was just a drone. It doesn't matter. They're expensive for one thing, but there's been less things that's happened that's caused wars, and so this one definitely could cause things to increase. And even though it may not cause the war, it could cause, which is what the United States is already saying, that, well, fine, we're going to just start flying more things over that area. If that's the way you want it, we're gonna start, increasing our flights over into that area in the Black Sea. That's what they were saying yesterday. And, of course, Russia, on the other hand, is like, well, we're going to take a more defensive posture against that. And if we see anything else, we're going to be even more cautious. See how it kind of starts to spiral out of control. With the economic stuff happening and the war stuff, potential war stuff happening, and then you've got all these other things in the background, like, another pandemic and another this or that. There's all these other little things going on. It's at some point something's going to happen. We all know that. I think they're conditioning us, keep us on our toes and keep us on the edge and keep us, just in this state of fear and panic, because at any point in time, any day, any one of these could go off and we could just all die, that kind of thing. That's where folks like you and I kind of can step in and be a little different. I understand that these things that are happening can cause us to be scared, cause us to be worried. But between being believers and preppers, we shouldn't feel that way. We shouldn't allow this fear. I'm about ready to get stampeded by turkeys. They've never come down here before, but here they are starting to gather around me. Anyways, we can't allow ourselves to fall into that panic and fear mode. That's why we live the life that we live. That's why we stay on top of things. That's why we prepare. That's why we believe spiritually the way that we do, that we will be protected, and that we will, that, you know, that the Father is looking out for us, right? You know, we're doing our part. We're trying to get as ready as we can in a physical and a mental and a spiritual sense. And then the Father, he steps in and he kind of takes care of things that we're not able to. So there's going to be a lot of fear mongering by everyone, I think, there has been for a long time. So the odds that it will continue is probably pretty good. And some of these things are very real, and they are very kind of scary and very dangerous. But we have to keep focused, and like I've said before, kind of bring your focus down to the local level, like to you, to your family, to those around you that are part of your tribe, your mag, your crew. Focus on that. Yes, all these other things going on in the world are serious. We need to be aware of them. It helps us get a better timeline of how things are going. But in the end, we need to be focusing on our local level, you know, circling those wagons, getting ourselves ready, because we know these things are happening and they're coming. And so we need to continue our preps. I would encourage you to, if you have a small group, to be meeting more often. Just if it's just having a meal together. And for the families, they need to be going over kind of the game plan. What's the game plan? What if something happens, what are we going to do? If we have to kind of close ourselves off from the rest of the world, lock ourselves into the house, whatever it is, whatever we need to do, start doing those things and planning them. Keep stocking up. Because, yeah, at some point, one of these things are kind of gonna go crazy, and then who knows. See if I can get one of the hens right here. There she is. She just decided to come over here, and then there's another one right there, and then there's a couple others behind. Whoops, my camera's. Anyways, just thought I'd show you. They've, for some reason, decided to come join me this morning. Bottom line is, folks, you know the thing. It's time to get your houses in order. Prepare, and always, mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.